little bit. At what point did you realize art could be a business for you?
Uh, so like all the books that I got, I would get books on artists that were my favorite artists and stuff like that. But I also got like there's two magazines. It was Art Forum and Art News that I had a subscription to. So I would just read about galleries, I read about auctions, and never before like I didn't even look at art prior to it being introduced to me. And it was introduced to me right before I got locked up. So I didn't even look at television or music or fashion or any of these things like art. So I didn't see that art could be a career. But when I'm reading these magazines and studying and stuff, I'm like, oh, this is really a way that I can take care of myself, take care of my family, you know what I mean, and really have some resources to help other people. And once I seen that and seen the magnitude and the what could come from it, that's when I was just like, nah, I'm dedicating, all of my energy to this and knowing that it's going to work out and it's going to be successful as long as I don't stop. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, this is my job. I don't work nowhere. I work right here. You know what I mean? So I'm just all in on making it happen through my art. You know?
That's what's up. And with that, because you more or less had your art training in prison, so you didn't go to an art school. You didn't have somebody holding you by the hand to kind of figure out what opportunities are going to further your career and everything like that. So how did you figure that out outside of reading art magazines and things of that nature? Like how to get shows and
It was
all that type of stuff.
it was organic, you know what I mean? And it was, I like to have intention with everything that I do, but I also know that I can't control anything outside of me, but I can control me. So when I came home, a buddy of mine that introduced me to a lot of people that allowed me to get the shows that I'm getting and allow things to have the snowball effect. He asked me what I wanted to do, and I was like, man, I'm a paint. It's like, I'm a paint. Painting is it. And I said, I'll probably get a part-time job. And he got angry, but I didn't know he got angry. So because this was my next door neighbor for a nice amount of years. So my brother Hussein, so he had left. He had came to the halfway house I was in. He had left. He's like, I'll see you tomorrow. So the next day he came back and he was like, man, you pissed me off yesterday. I was like, man, what you talking about? He was like, man, when you say get a part-time job, I'm like, why that piss you off? He's like, that's not your purpose. He's like, your purpose is to paint and get out what you need to get out. And I was like, nah, you're right. Painting's gonna be my primary thing. He was like, nah, they're not primary. He was like, this is what you need to focus on. And I received that. And he was like, now I'm gonna introduce you to somebody that can help you, develop certain relationships. And he introduced me to a dope lady named Linda. And Linda introduced me to Amy, and just everything snowballed. And after that, I just kept doing the work, you know what I mean? I have reached a stage, you know what I mean? Because this is a big transition for me, in life. So I got to a point, I think after my second show, and I was just like, I'm going to try to make things happen. Like I'm going to be intentional with trying to make things happen. And it muddied the waters a little bit for me because it put my thinking in a different space versus just being focused on what I'm doing. Now I'm not focused on the journey anymore. I'm focused on the outcome. I'm continuously focused on the outcome. So I always evaluate myself, and I'm just like, you know what? I was like, that's getting in the way. And I was like, let me just stay in the journey, be intentional with my routine, and things are going to come the way they're supposed to come. And I locked back in on that mindset, and then things started happening the way they were supposed to happen because I wasn't just outcome oriented. I was just staying present and staying in the journey, and things worked out.
So is it hard to stay? Because I know you mentioned before someone told you should do more abstract work. Is it difficult to stay in your journey knowing it's money out there for you to just
Nah, yeah,
cash out work that people gonna buy?
It ain't difficult because it has to mean something to me, and I'm not chasing anything. So I'm gonna attract everything that's gonna come to me. So I ain't chasing nothing. So I could chase that, but it wouldn't have the satisfaction that doing what I'm doing has. You know what I mean? And I don't know what else will be attached to chasing something versus just knowing what my purpose is and attracting everything that's supposed to come my way. So I'm gonna just you know what I mean, keep it intentional and stay focused on what I'm focused on and allow the chips to fall where they may. But I'm gonna stick to my routine though. I'm gonna continue to do the same thing every day. You know what I mean?
All right. So.